back. Every day you spend chasing people who don't value you is a day you'll never get back. Time is the one currency you can't earn twice, it back. Yet too many of us are wasting it on people who don't even notice the gift we're giving them. Ask yourself this: if today were your last, would you still spend it proving your worth to someone who can't see it back? Or would you finally walk away and protect the most valuable resource you'll ever have, yourself? Time is the one resource that every person shares in common, yet it is also the most fragile. Unlike money, it back, knowledge or possessions, once a second passes, it can never be earned back or recreated. Many people treat their time as though it is infinite, as though tomorrow will always be waiting for them back, but the reality is far more sobering. Every day, hour, and minute is a withdrawal from an account that never replenishes itself. What you choose to spend your time on reflects what you value most, it back, whether you realize it or not. If your minutes are consumed by people who dismiss your worth, you are effectively handing them slices of your life for free. The cost is not visible immediately back, but it compounds silently over years. Before you know it, you look back and wonder how much more you could have achieved if only you had guarded your time more fiercely. When you see time as currency, it back, the perspective shifts completely. Imagine carrying around a wallet that only has a fixed number of bills in it, and every time you hand one out, it's gone forever. Back. You would think twice about who deserves it and what they bring in exchange. The same applies to your hours and days, yet most people casually give them away as though they are worth nothing. When someone repeatedly ignores your effort, disregards your presence, or takes without giving, they are draining a bank that can never be refilled. It's not their responsibility to protect your time, it's yours. Back. Recognizing this truth is often uncomfortable because it forces you to confront how many withdrawals you've allowed without return. But discomfort is necessary if you want to stop living on emotional credit and start investing in meaningful growth. The trap many fall into is confusing availability with generosity. Being constantly accessible to those who do not value you is not kindness, it's self-neglect disguised as loyalty. Every yes to someone who drains you is an unspoken no to your own goals, passions, back, and potential. It feels noble to stand by people no matter how they treat you, but loyalty has a limit when it starts eroding your self-worth. If someone sees your time as cheap, it back. It is not because they are blind, it is because you have set the price too low. The harsh reality is that people rarely respect what they don't have to earn back. And when you give endless time to those who give little in return, you're teaching them how little effort it takes to keep you around. Guarding your time does not mean becoming cold or detached, it back. It means being intentional with where you invest your most valuable resource. Relationships, projects, and even casual conversations are either fueling your progress or consuming it. Every moment is a trade-off between growth and stagnation. The question is not whether others will waste your time. The question is whether you will allow it back. People who value you will treat your minutes as precious because they know they are limited. They will not demand constant access, nor will they take your presence for granted. Instead, it back. They will see the gift of your time as something worth cherishing, protecting, and reciprocating. Think about how quickly time passes when you are around people who uplift you, inspire you, it back, or push you toward your potential. Those moments feel alive because they multiply energy rather than drain it. Now compare that with how heavy time feels when spent on those who disregard your effort or presence. Minutes drag on, leaving you exhausted, frustrated, and unfulfilled. That contrast should be all the proof you need that your time has measurable value depending on where it is spent. Yet many continue to pour hours into relationships that offer no return, simply because they fear being alone or misunderstood. But solitude is far less costly than the slow erosion of your life by people who do not value it. The truth is, wasting time on the wrong people often stems from not realizing your own worth. If you do not believe your hours are priceless, you will continue to give them away cheaply. Self-worth and time value are deeply connected. When one rises, so does the other. Protecting your time is not arrogance. It is self-awareness. It says, I know the weight of what I bring, and I will not spend it recklessly. When you start treating every moment as non-refundable, the way you interact with others changes drastically. You stop chasing validation from people who cannot see you, and instead you start investing in those who truly value your presence. Back. Sometimes the hardest part of valuing your time is walking away from people who have been in your life for years. Familiarity creates comfort, even if the relationship itself is draining. You tell yourself that history makes it worth staying, but history does not pay back the minutes you continue to lose. Loyalty to the past should never cost you the future. Back. Choosing to withdraw your time from those who waste it is not betrayal, it is preservation. And while it may feel painful at first, it creates space for new relationships that actually honor the value you bring back. Your circle may grow smaller, but the return on your investment becomes infinitely greater. The greatest misconception about time is thinking that giving it freely makes you more loving, kind, or generous. But true generosity is not measured by how much you give away, it is measured by the impact of what you choose to give. If your time is constantly poured into empty spaces, that there is nothing left to offer the people who genuinely value you. Saying no is not selfish, it is strategic. It ensures that your limited hours are invested in places where they can multiply rather than evaporate. It back. The ability to protect your time is not just a skill. It is a discipline that shapes every area of your life, from relationships to career to personal growth. Every choice you make is a transaction with time. Back scrolling endlessly, engaging in meaningless drama, or entertaining people who drain you are all withdrawals that will never be repaid. On the other hand, focusing on growth, nurturing valuable relationships, back and working toward your goals are investments that compound over years. The distinction between wasting time and using it well often comes down to courage. The courage to cut ties with those who do not value you, even when it feels uncomfortable. Courage is what transforms your time from something easily spent into something powerfully invested. Life has a way of reminding us how fragile time truly is. Moments slip through our fingers quietly, without announcement, until suddenly years have passed. Looking back, the greatest regrets rarely come from the risks we took or the failures we experienced. Back. They come from the hours wasted on people who never saw us, never valued us, and never deserved the pieces of our life we handed over. Time is not a resource to be hoarded, but neither is it one to be squandered. Back. It is meant to be invested wisely in people and places that give it meaning. Back. And the first step toward that wisdom is realizing that wasting it on those who do not value you is the most expensive mistake you will ever make. Value is not spoken into existence, it is revealed in consistent actions. Back, anyone can string together the right words, make promises, or give compliments when it benefits them, but those words mean nothing without alignment in behavior. When someone values you, back. It shows in how they prioritize your presence, how they make time for you even in their busiest moments, and how they treat you when no one is watching. Empty words may sound appealing, back, but they are like a mirage in the desert. They create an illusion that vanishes when you reach for it. The difference between those who genuinely value you and those who don't is always in their choices. Back. Real appreciation is quiet, steady, and consistent. It doesn't need to be loudly declared. Actions don't lie, and when they contradict words, they reveal the truth that was hidden beneath the surface all along. Back. One of the most dangerous traps people fall into is believing words over evidence. It is comforting to hear that you are valued, appreciated, or important, but if those words are not matched with commitment, back, they are nothing more than a script. People who truly value you don't just tell you, they show you in tangible ways, whether by respecting your boundaries, keeping promises, or being present when it matters. Too often, we ignore these contradictions because we want to believe the words so badly that we silence the reality screaming through their actions. The cost of this self-deception is enormous, as it leads to pouring energy and time into relationships that are fundamentally hollow. To break free, you must train yourself to weigh actions more heavily than words, even when the truth they reveal is uncomfortable. Back. If you are constantly explaining your worth, pleading for effort, or proving why you matter, then the relationship is already one-sided. Back. People who truly see your value do not need convincing because it is obvious to them from the start. They will not require you to justify your presence or beg for reciprocity. Instead, they will reflect your worth through consistent actions that make you feel seen and respected. When you are forced into the role of proving yourself, you are not being valued, you are being tested. Back, and the test never ends. This dynamic drains your energy and erodes your self-esteem, leaving you feeling empty no matter how much you give. The truth is simple. Back. The right people recognize your value without you having to audition for it. Many people confuse attention with value, but they are not the same. Attention can be shallow, fleeting, and motivated by convenience. Back, while value runs deeper and shows up in sacrifice, loyalty, and consistency. Someone may give you attention when it suits them, but disappear when it becomes inconvenient, revealing that their interest was never about valuing you in the first place. True value is proven in the moments when it costs them something: time, energy, or effort. Back. Those who genuinely value you will still show up when it's difficult, because they see you as worth the investment. Recognizing this distinction saves you from mistaking short bursts of attention for genuine appreciation. Another sign of true value is respect for boundaries. Back. People who value you will not test your limits to see how much they can take from you before you break. They will not guilt you into giving more than you have or ignore your needs to satisfy their own. Instead, they honor your boundaries because they understand that respecting you is part of valuing you. When someone consistently disregards your limits, it's not a misunderstanding, it's a choice that shows they do not see your time, energy, or well-being as important. Accepting this reality is difficult, but it gives you the clarity needed to protect yourself from emotional erosion. Relationships where value is missing often rely on one-sided effort. You find yourself being the one who always reaches out first, always makes the plans, and always compromises to keep the connection alive. Meanwhile, the other person invests little and still benefits from your presence. Over time, this imbalance leaves you drained and resentful, because effort without reciprocity is exploitation, not love or respect. Mutual value is demonstrated when both people are willing to show up, give effort, and make sacrifices. If you are the only one carrying the weight, then it is clear evidence that the other person does not value you in the way you deserve. The reason actions matter so much more than words is because actions are costly. Words can be spoken without commitment, but actions require effort, time, and often sacrifice. Anyone can tell you they care, but showing up when it's inconvenient, listening when you're struggling, or supporting you when you fail requires genuine investment. That investment cannot be faked for long because eventually the truth reveals itself. When someone values you, tip back. They choose actions that align with their words repeatedly, not just when it's easy. Over time, this consistency builds trust and makes their words meaningful because they are backed by proof. Back. When you learn to focus on actions over words, you begin to see relationships for what they truly are, not what you wish them to be. This shift is powerful because it removes the fog of false promises and exposes the reality of who values you and who doesn't. Back. It also empowers you to stop wasting energy trying to change people or waiting for them to finally recognize your worth. Instead, you invest your time in relationships where value is already present, back where actions match words, and where you don't have to beg to be seen. This mindset protects you from the endless cycle of disappointment that comes from expecting value where it does not exist. The irony is that when you stop chasing validation and start observing actions, you not only save your time, but also strengthen your own sense of self-worth. Back. You begin to realize that value is not something others give to you. It's something you already possess. The right people will simply reflect it back through their actions, while the wrong ones will reveal themselves through neglect, inconsistency, and disregard. By trusting what people do more than what they say, you reclaim your power. You stop being fooled by words and start being guided by evidence. And in doing so, you create a life filled with relationships that are genuine, balanced, and worthy of your time. Every time you cling to someone who does not value you, you are unintentionally closing the door to people who actually would. Life does not give you unlimited space or energy to carry everyone along with you back. And when that space is taken up by the wrong people, the right ones cannot enter. Holding on may feel safe because it is familiar, but safety and growth rarely exist in the same place. Back. You may think keeping certain people around prevents loneliness, but what it really prevents is your ability to build connections that are mutual and empowering. The wrong people take up time, energy, back, and emotional bandwidth that could be invested elsewhere. By refusing to let go, you send a signal to yourself and others that you will tolerate being undervalued. That tolerance becomes a cage, locking you into cycles of disappointment and robbing you of better opportunities. Freedom begins when you create space for what truly aligns with your worth. Back. There is a common misconception that loyalty means never letting go, but loyalty to the wrong people is just another form of self-sabotage. You can be endlessly loyal to someone who does not value you, yet no amount of devotion will turn neglect into care. What you see as loyalty may actually be fear. The fear of losing history, the fear of starting over, or the fear of being alone. Back. These fears trap you in relationships that drain you instead of building you up. The truth is, letting go does not mean you hate them or wish them harm. It simply means you refuse to sacrifice your future for the comfort of a bond that has already proven itself unworthy. Real loyalty should first be directed inward, to your growth, your energy, and your well-being. Back. Anything less is betrayal to yourself. It is important to understand that the wrong people do not just hold you back emotionally, they hold you back in every area of life. They influence your mindset, shape your habits, and even affect the opportunities you attract. When you are surrounded by people who do not value you, you unconsciously lower your own standards. You begin to accept less than you deserve and normalize being overlooked. Over time, this erosion of self-worth seeps into other parts of your life, your career, your goals, and even your health. The environment you allow yourself to stay in becomes the ceiling that limits your potential. And until you remove the wrong people, you cannot rise higher because they will always anchor you down to the level of what they see you as. Back. One of the hardest lessons to learn is that not everyone is meant to go where you are going. Some people were only meant to be part of your past, not your future. Back. Holding on to them creates resistance because their vision of you belongs to who you were, not who you are becoming. Back. They cannot see the growth you are aiming for because they are too invested in the version of you that once fit their needs. Trying to take them along is like dragging heavy luggage up a mountain. It slows you down, back, exhausts you, and makes the climb unbearable. The climb to a better life requires letting go of weight that was never meant to reach the top. By releasing the wrong people, back, you lighten your load and give yourself the strength to move forward without unnecessary resistance. Sometimes the wrong people stay in your life simply because you keep justifying their presence. Back. You convince yourself that things will change, that they will eventually realize your value, or that your patience will pay off. But every year that passes with nothing improving is proof that your hope is misplaced. Hope without evidence is not faith, it is denial. And denial is dangerous because it robs you the urgency needed to create change. The more you rationalize their lack of value, back, the more deeply you entrench yourself in a situation that is wasting your time. The longer you stay, the harder it becomes to walk away, not because you cannot, but because you are addicted to the comfort of waiting. Back. Waiting for change that never comes is one of the most costly decisions you can make with your life. Letting go is not about bitterness. It is about alignment. It is about choosing to align your time, energy, back in relationships with people who actually uplift and support you. When you create space, you give better opportunities and stronger connections a chance to find you. Imagine a table that is already filled with clutter. Back. No matter how valuable a gift someone offers, there is no place to set it down. That is exactly what happens when you hold on to people who do not value you. Your life becomes too cluttered with the wrong energy, back leaving no room for the right people to step in. By clearing the table, you make space for the gifts that truly belong in your life. This is not loss, it is preparation for better things to come. Back, the resistance to letting go often comes from confusing comfort with happiness. You tell yourself that you are content simply because you have grown accustomed to their presence. Back. But comfort is not the same as fulfillment, and familiarity is not the same as value. Just because something feels familiar does not mean it is good for you. Many people stay trapped in toxic dynamics simply because they fear the unknown more than they fear continued mistreatment. But the unknown holds possibility, while staying stuck guarantees more of the same. To embrace better relationships, you must be willing to walk through the discomfort of change. Discomfort is temporary, but the freedom it brings is lasting. Letting go also requires trust. Trust in yourself and trust in the process of life. You must believe that when you release the wrong people, you are not left empty, but rather open to receive something greater. Back. This trust is difficult when your worth has been eroded by those who never valued you, but it is essential if you want to rebuild. Yeah, trusting the process means accepting that endings are not failures, but necessary transitions. It means realizing that sometimes subtraction is the only way to create addition. By letting go, get back. You are not losing. You are trading what was draining you for what will strengthen you. That trade is always worth it, even if the results are not immediate. The most powerful realization comes when you understand that the wrong people do not just block the right ones. They block the right version of you. You cannot step into your fullest potential while you are anchored by relationships that undervalue you. Your growth demands space, encouragement, and alignment, and the wrong people will never provide that. By holding on, you're not only denying yourself better relationships, you are denying yourself the chance to become the person you are capable of being. Walking away may feel painful at first, but it is also the doorway to discovering your true strength. The freedom that comes from releasing what no longer serves you is the very thing that allows you to step into the life you were meant to live. Get back. Protecting your value begins with the recognition that you are not meant to be available to everyone at all times. When you give yourself away freely without discernment, people begin to treat your presence as ordinary, even though it is not. Strength is found in knowing your worth so deeply that you no longer offer discounts just to be accepted. Walking away from situations where your value is ignored is not about arrogance. It is about respect. Respect for your time, your energy, and your contribution. The world reflects back how you choose to treat yourself back. So when you uphold your standards, others have no choice but to respond accordingly. Those who genuinely appreciate you will rise to meet those standards, while those who do not will naturally fall away. This process is not about rejection. It is about alignment. It is often misunderstood that leaving behind relationships or environments that diminish you is weakness, when in fact it is the opposite. It takes immense courage to walk away from the familiar, especially when emotions are deeply involved. But staying where you are undervalued chips away at your confidence and keeps you locked in cycles of frustration. Protecting your value requires discipline because it forces you to prioritize long-term respect over short-term comfort. The moment you decide to stop tolerating less than you deserve, you immediately raise the standard for how people treat you. This is not about creating walls to push others out. It is about building boundaries that protect your dignity. Boundaries are not barriers. They are filters that allow the right people in and keep the wrong ones from draining you. Every act of self-respect begins with a choice. It is the choice to say no when something does not align with your worth. Even if saying yes would feel easier in the moment, it is the choice to protect your time by declining invitations that do not serve your growth. It is the choice to walk away when your presence is consistently taken for granted. These choices may seem small, but over time they create a life where you are surrounded by people who truly appreciate you. Protecting your value is not about isolation. It is about preservation. Just as you would not leave precious possessions unguarded, you should not leave your energy unprotected. By choosing respect over convenience, you are telling the world that your value is non-negotiable. The beauty of protecting your value is that it transforms how you see yourself. When you no longer tolerate being treated as an afterthought, your confidence begins to grow. You start to see that your time and presence are gifts, not obligations. This shift is powerful because it changes how you carry yourself in every interaction. You walk with a sense of assurance, knowing you do not need to beg for respect or prove your worth. People notice this, and those who genuinely value you will be drawn closer, while those who sought to exploit you will fade away. In this way, protecting your value not only safeguards your energy, but also elevates the quality of relationships in your life. It is easy to confuse protecting your value with being guarded or distant, but they are very different. Being guarded comes from fear, while protecting your value comes from strength. Fear shuts people out, but strength filters them. This distinction matters because you are not meant to close yourself off from connection. You are meant to engage with others in ways that honor your worth. Protecting your value means being intentional about where you invest your time and who you share your energy with. It means recognizing that not everyone deserves access to you, and that is perfectly acceptable. When you live from this mindset, you no longer chase after validation. Instead, you allow appreciation and respect to come to you naturally. Back. The act of walking away from situations that do not honor you is not selfish. It is necessary. Every time you leave behind something that does not serve your growth, you make room for something better to arrive. Get back. Think of it as pruning a tree. By cutting away the dead branches, you give space for new growth to flourish. Protecting your value works the same way. It is not about loss, it is about renewal. The people who remain in your life after you enforce your boundaries are the ones who truly belong there. They are the ones who see your worth without needing reminders. Back, and they will treat your presence with the respect it deserves. By protecting your value, you attract people and opportunities that align with your true potential. Too often, back. People remain in situations where they are undervalued because they fear being misunderstood. They worry that by setting boundaries or walking away, they will appear unkind, ungrateful, or cold. But the truth is that protecting your value is an act of love, not only for yourself, but also for others. When you respect yourself, you teach others how to respect themselves as well. It back. You show that it is possible to honor your worth without diminishing anyone else's. This kind of leadership is powerful because it creates a ripple effect. By protecting your own value, back, you give others permission to do the same. In doing so, you not only change your life, but inspire others to rise to their own standards. The deeper you understand your worth, it back, the less tolerance you have for environments that undermine it. You begin to see clearly that respect cannot be negotiated. It must be given freely. Back, protecting your value means refusing to stay silent when your dignity is compromised. It means not shrinking yourself to fit into spaces that were never built for you. It means recognizing that your presence has power. Back, and that power deserves to be used wisely. The longer you protect your value, the more natural it becomes, until it is no longer an effort, but a way of life. This is where true freedom begins. Back, the freedom to live fully without sacrificing who you are. In the end, protecting your value is not just about relationships. It is about the life you create. When you respect your time, your energy, and your worth, back, every decision you make begins to align with your higher purpose. You stop chasing validation and start pursuing fulfillment. Back, you stop giving your energy to people who do not deserve it and start building connections that uplift and empower you. Walking away no longer feels like loss. It feels like liberation. And with every step you take back, you remind yourself that your value was never up for debate. The moment you decide to protect it, you reclaim the power to shape your life with intention and strength. It back. The strongest ending to this journey is the realization that you do not need to fight for your value. It already exists within you. Your only responsibility is to guard it, honor it, and never allow it to be diminished. Those who truly see it will rise to meet you, and those who do not will naturally fade away. By protecting your value, you step into a life where respect is the standard, not the exception. And in that space, back, you finally find the freedom to live authentically, surrounded by people and opportunities that reflect the worth you always carried inside you.